Hey everyone. Today I just want to talk kind of loosely about my thoughts on my project and world building in general. I've got a script that I've typed up for this, but I don't want to stick too strictly to it. I kind of want this to be more relaxed. So, I've been having trouble with world building. I've been feeling like even though I've been making art and some lore that I think is really cool and I'm super proud of, it's all in service of a goal that does not exist. In my original channel trailer, I called Territories of Tarun a forever project. There was no finish line involved. And I realized I wasn't quite sure what I was trying to do with all of this. And that lack of direction has made it really hard to move forward. It's made it hard to make videos, too. And that's only one issue in it as well. There's also the time involved. Uh, you know, I have a job, I'm going to school right now. It's just. And this stuff just doesn't happen fast, but it sucks because I really want to make more, and I find myself thinking about it a lot, thinking about making more. Um, I know that a lot of people deal with this, and I don't want to sound like I'm coming off as privileged or like, you know, woe is me. I don't have the time for this because I have to work and make a life. Because I want to be very aware of it. It's fine. Getting back to my thoughts on this, uh, one thing that's made it really hard to make videos, as I mentioned, was aimlessness. It's not that I can't imagine the project becoming a finished product, but there are so many options, and that's what I've been thinking about this whole time. I could make a tabletop RPG out of this. I love TTRPGs, and I love miniatures. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons and collecting Warhammer models for a long time, so, I could see that. Or maybe I could try and make a video game. I don't know how. I don't know how to make games. But video games are so fun. That's the idea of making one out of this world would be so interesting. Although I'd have to learn how to write code and learn mechanics and do game jams and probably network a lot more. Or maybe I could just do a story of some kind. I've always thought about making a comic or graphic novel. Uh, you know, Vermis is a huge inspiration to me by Plastaboo, and reading that has given me so much inspiration. Uh, there are art compendiums, bestiaries, war games, card games, animations. There is so much choice here. Uh, and what if I choose to pursue one of these things and months or years down the line after putting in all this work, I begin to regret going in that direction? Like, what if I, start working on a card game and then years down the line I realize, I don't really like card games very much, or I'm not very into that kind of thing. I kind of wish I would have learned to do, video games, coding, and whatnot. On top of all this, I don't even know how to do most of these things that I've mentioned. Even world building is relatively new to me. I've done Dungeons and Dragons before, and I've made worlds in there, but presenting it in this format, in a video format, is pretty different. I brought up this problem that I've been having. in a community post to try and see how other people confront their world building blocks. And I was surprised and appreciative to see all of the people who responded to me. I might sound a little conceited, but I find it really nice to know that I'm not alone when it comes to my struggles to figure this thing out. Some people recommended I check out some other world builders on YouTube to see their process and their work, maybe even ask them some questions. Some people recommended that I check out a channel called Rhodes Art and his world building project, Dead Gods. Rhodes is an amazing artist and world builder, and I really admire his vision for his project. He's established a clear reason for building his world. He has a protagonist, and he wants that protagonist to record the world around him. I'm simplifying it very much, but that's just what I was able to glean from it. It sounds simple, but it's such a good idea. The idea of a narrative and the world building working so harmoniously. The way that Matt has chosen to present his project has also really appealed to me. He does not hold himself to make each of his videos part of a finished, perfect narrative product. In his videos, he is showing us the bones of a finished product. He slowly presents the essential parts of the world in order to build his world and narrative over time. And he is still able to present lore. I've decided to take some inspiration from Matt's process going forward. I'm going to try to, at least. I love the idea of treating this channel as some kind of behind-the-scenes playlist where I can show you all the bones of my setting as I create them. This means I don't really have to hold myself to always present my work in character, as the record keeper, because when I'm speaking in character, I almost feel like the stuff that I'm saying has to be more concrete. It's easier to retcon things that you've created when you aren't presenting it as a character in the setting. I want to focus on the simple aspects of the world. The climate, the biomes, landmarks, all of it. All of this, I think, is going to help me make a more fleshed out and realized world. And the goal of the project is a story of some kind. That's how I'm treating it, at least. A story of survival and escape from from a strange and war-torn land. Strange, war-torn, dreamlike. You can kind of see how I'm inspired by Vermis and FromSoft games. I love that sort of story structure and lore that is so vague that it teases the audience and leads them to come up with their own interpretations. These mysterious worlds really appeal to me. I feel like I finally have a realistic direction to move in. I talked a lot about Matt Rhodes in this video, and my plan is not to steal his style or anything. I just want to take some inspiration from how he does things, because he seems like a real professional when it comes to all of this, and that's very inspiring to me. I still have yet to put what I've learned into practice, but I feel calm, and even though this is going to be probably difficult, I think I can do this. I can make something out of this. I'm not feeling as much pressure as I did before. Oh yeah, I made an Artstation too.